Modify the fuel you are putting in your life. Begin to allow life to be better. It worked with other people. It can work with you too. Animate yourself. Solve your questions. Ask for forgiveness to who you need to ask. Reconcile with those who are distant. Perhaps it is not even to make it back, to reestablish bonds. No, just for you to relieve your heart, for you not to carry these bags anymore. Forgiving does not mean bringing the other back to our lives. Sometimes we forgive it is precisely so that the distance is light, be beneficial to me and the other, be happier. Commit to Jesus. Discover the unfolding of this faith in God, which can make you believe a little more. Be more willing to live suffering at the right time so that you will soon be free from it. Suffering has to be a passage to make us better. It doesn't have to be definitive. The struggle is definitive, but the suffering of the struggle is once and when. Fighting does not have to be synonymous with pain, hurt, suffering. Not wait. The fight can be to make us happy. The moment you fight, you need to be happy, because you are aware that you are doing the right thing. So we find that Christmas can be every day because this Renaissance struggle is not inside us. People die. People get tired of us. People leave. People cheat us. Because that's how it is. But why happened to me? I am such a good person. And it happens with good people and bad people. It's no use wearing kicking. Life will not be different because we are not enjoying it the way it is. Life has a lot of personality, is an absolutely owned lady of herself. She is not at all worried about the opinion we have of. She is not in need to stop to hear what we were going to say from her. Life is sovereign. Life is above all. And it gives the rules the way it wants so. If she gets out of getting into our lives now and dismissing everything, she does, because she is not under control. No one controls life. The most we can do is observe her movement. Just as I am walking. But I keep an eye on life. I am observing here what their rules are, which usually works, which usually goes wrong, which this lady likes to realize in us. Then I am adapting. I am making a rule here, which seems to hers. This is called common sense. I build an increasingly embodied faith that is putting me with life in a parallel with life, and I think, this is how life is ours. I will try to do everything so that my rules are similar to their rule. And then you make the most beautiful transgression that a human being can do. Why sometimes we think this illusion that transgresses is to do the opposite of what life asks us. To transgress is to obey its life, its movement. He's tired. Transgress is resting, since in this time no one has the right to rest. Do you need to be silent? Stay. At this time when everyone talks, transgressing is silent. So we are often deceived that transgressing is us to do the opposite of what someone asks for. Transgress is that you do what is right. It is you not to lose sight of what should be executed. And then we become truly revolutionary. And here everything here, life is passing by the side. I'm watching. She follows. She has her way. She has her rules, and is not at all interested in what we are finding or thinking of her. She is owner. I am a subject. You are a subject of life. Its shadow is death. It is the same thing. They are not two entities. Take this illusion out of your head that there are two entities, life and death. No, it is one movement only. When I breathe, I make the life movement, which is the first I did. I do the last one. It stopped to think about it. When you were born, you did it. It started. And you will end like this. I will finish like this. For you to renew. So, it's the same movement. Life and death. What kills us is what makes us live. What makes us live can also kill us. We're here. Life has its rules. And this is this. No one has an obligation to make us happy. Be friends with 1,000,000 people, but never stop being your best friend. Believe in the possibility of being happy with many people close to you. But don't be fooled. There will come a time when the only possible happiness is not the one that will be offered to you by others, but for yourself. This is what you are ultimately. You offer yourself. This is what you are giving yourself right now. This is what you are eating right now. He is. That's enough. We have been following the news that life increasingly has been threatened. I suffer in my corner. You suffer in yours. Each suffering this threat in different measures. But one thing is certain. In today's world, a grand reality is established that covers many, many people being threatened by life. And terrible events are being triggered because of strange choices that we have made throughout our lives. So, in the face of so much bad news, what do we need to do? Seek the dose of life that is possible today. We soften the great suffering of the world when we take care of the small sufferings. And even because the great solidarity can only be expressed as small solidarity has been exercised today, right now we can make choices that do well to the world. Who knows, thinking a little about our attitude, about our way of living, what we are insistently watching, about what we are making is important within our hearts today. There is so much death that sometimes comes in within our heart. There is so much power of death that sometimes enters within us. In the abduction, kidnaps others. When a bad thinking takes over us, for example. When the pessimism of the world finds a place in our hearts. When he comes to lodge inside us. Because I'm not immune. Even if I never have the courage to get a gun, I may have the courage to do other ways. But veiled. When I make my speech a form of violence. When I make my attitude a violent attitude, when I dope people even without extending their arms toward them. Even if it is not a declared violence, but sometimes the violence of coexistence. When I do not allow the other to be him. When I do not allow the other to be him. Everything is a form of violence. Strange. But it is. Different. But it is. It's kidnapping. Strange. Different. But it's too. That's why the wisdom of life teaches us that we need to look at what we can do. Faced with so many atrocities, in the face of so many unpleasant things that today happen to us, that today happen in people's lives, we can react. Do we have no right to close our pessims in our hopes of hope? Our absences of hope do not change the world. What changes is the moment when we roll up the sleeve and say, look, I'll take care of what I can. I have my house here. I will look in my children's eyes, and I will see if they are not being victims of violence, which can one day become news on television. Because if we do not take care of today's violence, small, minimal, and veiled, it may be that it comes to surprise us in a big way any day. Great tragedies happen in small carelessness. And when we humans commit ourselves to the order of things, the order of our home, to the vigilance of our family, our home, we are somehow protecting it, so that these great violence will not come to also happen inside our house. I consider it a martyrdom. It is a martyrdom we need to read. Look at that event and find out what it can teach us. That is why in the face of this Calvary that today the whole of Brazil is having the opportunity to see and contemplate, we need to stop. We need to look at this scene and with her learn something. Only those who have read the books of Father Fabio de Mello knows how transformative they are. Make us reflect and change our way of seeing life. If you haven't read it yet, don't miss this big chance. Learn more by clicking on the description links. Coincidence or not, several people talking about the same thing. Just get some on here. Lucia Rosa, for example. The theme is Father, what do I lack? I had a serious crisis of depression. I didn't want to know to live. I ended up improving after many treatments. But nowadays, I am a sad person. Seems that something is missing in my life. I'm formed, I work in my area, but I am ashamed of myself. In this world where success, beauty, and wealth are so exalted, I feel a loser. My accounts are up to date, my health too, my family's great. I have a stable relationship with the man I love. But I'm insecure. I feel weak. And I think I'll collapse the bullet. I feel a failure. Your words touch my heart, but I can't put them into practice. Another, Gabriela. In recent days, Father, I have felt a absence, a lack, a loneliness within me. Nothing that prevents me from working, studying as I do every day, but it is a big foul that I have felt after a relationship that has over 5 months. And in recent days, I have been missing a lot. Father, I'm writing because I need a lot of help. I'm living the worst moment of my life and I don't know what to do. On August 12th, Father's Day, thank God I was saved in time and today I am here asking for help. Because I cannot raise myself. I am feeling weak, without courage, willing to give up everything. I have prayed, I have gone to church, but it seems that there is nothing advanced. I feel my heart increasingly agonized, full of grudge, sadness, and bitterness. Father, I'm 19 years old and would like to vent. I'm going through a complicated phase. I'm unemployed, going badly to the psychology college that my father pays to me. Last semester, I took 3 dependencies from stories, and I will have to redo them. This semester, I'm worse. I am unmotivated, without seeing a light at the end of the tunnel. I feel useless. And I'm afraid of not being a good professional. Because my mother always states me, you will be a professional who knows nothing. I'm looking for HR internship, but it's getting harder and harder. I've thought of wanting to die. Because nothing seems to work except for other people. How to get rid of this feeling that I am a failure. That was Cassia. Now here, Nusa. Father, we had a case, an attempt at suicide in our family. I'm very worried because I've seen a lot of suffering around me, and many people looking for suicide as a solution to life. Father, what is happening to us? Why are people losing meaning to life and giving up living for any reason? Noisa Maria, Sao Paulo. Seeing, I have for myself, my people, that life. It is difficult for everyone. We all have reason to give up. We all have a strong reason today. We could say so. To elect and speak. Look, I'm justified. I'll deliver the points now. Many of us, you may be watching us in this group, of those who are justified, those who have a serious reason to give up life, or even to assume this failure as definitive and stop fighting. Justified, you may well justify, assuming it to yourself. Look, I don't want it anymore. Now I ask, what is missing our hearts to reach a point of this? I don't know, I may be wrong. But at other times it seemed that people were more willing to live, right? They faced the difficulties more courageously. Talk to your grandfather. Talk to your grandmother. I am very worried about our unpreparedness to suffer. I am very worried how we are today delivering the points very easily. Or as we are here, like the first 3 I read, full of reason to live, full of positive experiences, to analyze and consider, right? Looks at life and finds that there is a lot of good things, but deep down something we don't know how to name. What has we are missing, my people? What after sought so much, having achieved so much, Because today, the first great feature of the modern world is precisely this. It is the opportunity that Sartre already said, very wisely, in the reading he made of this modern world, that the source of anguish was precisely the possibilities. The more the human being can, the more he is distressed. Strange that, isn't it? Power much causes us discomfort. Today you can choose so many things for life. You can go to so many places. And that distresses you. Or after you have already won a lot.